Hi, in this video I'm going to be talking about the Medicare savings programs available in the state of Wisconsin. Medicare savings programs are programs available to people who are eligible for Medicare, thus determined elderly, blind, or disabled by the Social Security Administration, and have income limits below 120% of the federal poverty level. So there are 4 distinct programs, and I'm going to be going through each of them. For all of the programs, there is an asset limit of $7,280 for an individual or $10,930 for a couple. And assets include anything that you can quickly liquidate or has cash value that is not the home that you live in, or is not a prepaid burial asset or one vehicle. So items such as bank accounts, checking, savings, anything like stocks, bonds, CDs, even retirement accounts count as assets, even if you would be subject to a penalty if you would withdraw the amount. That's still considered an asset. More than one vehicle, even per couple, is considered an asset. And then any property that you own that you don't live in, a little cabin upstate that you own with a friend or a family member, that your share of it does count as an asset. And then there are also limitations on the amount that you can set aside for life insurance and burial assets too. But if you've prepaid for a burial asset, such as prepaid for a funeral, prepaid for a casket, that for the most part won't count as an asset. So sometimes what the Medicaid agency will suggest is that you consider converting your life insurance policy into prepaid, irrevocable burial assets, because life insurance, the cash value of life insurance, will count as an asset. But for most people, what you really need to consider for assets are money that you have in a bank account, like I said, stocks, bonds, CDs, more than one vehicle, if you own any additional property, that kind of thing. If you have a question about what might count as an asset or not, I highly recommend you contact your state Medicaid agency, or please feel free to send me a message or an email, and I will get back to you with some information on the rule for Medicaid. So that's the asset limit. There are also income limits for each of the programs. So I'm going to go from the most comprehensive, lowest income limit program up to the highest. So QMB, or Qualified Medicare Beneficiary, is the first program, and the income limit for that program, QMB, is 100% of the federal poverty level. In 2016, that amount is $990 for an individual and $1,335 for a couple. And all of these programs look at a couple's household income. So the QMB program is a wonderful program, and what it does is, first, it pays the Medicare Part B premium that an individual has that's normally taken out of the Social Security check. So someone might not even know that that amount is being taken out. In 2016, if you're new to Medicare, that amount is $121.90. If you've had Medicare prior to 2016, it is $104.90. Some people might also see a lower premium, but for most people already in the program, it's $104.90. For people with high incomes, it could potentially be more, but for the most part, it's going to be those amounts. So the QMB program, the state of Wisconsin pays that Medicare Part B premium. What's also nice about the QMB program that is unique to the QMB program is that it works somewhat similar to a Medicare supplement plan in that it pays for the 20% coinsurance that the Medicare beneficiary would otherwise have to pay when they receive medical services. And QMB also pays for the Medicare Part B deductible and the Medicare Part A deductible. So what would happen is, as long as the individual goes to a Medicare provider, a provider that accepts Medicare, and also can bill to the state of Wisconsin or is a Medicaid certified provider. What would happen is the individual goes in, let's say to the doctor's office, shows both their Medicare card and their Wisconsin Medicaid card, sometimes called the forward card. And then the provider will first send the bill to Medicare and then send the remainder of the bill to the QMB program through the state of Wisconsin. And then that Medicare eligible individual may have a small copay, again, usually between $1 and $6, depending on the service. The QMB program doesn't cover prescription drugs. That's a separate program called the Low Income Subsidy through Social Security. But when an individual applies for the QMB program, that information is automatically sent to Social Security so the person can be found eligible for the low income subsidy. But technically, QMB in and of itself does not pay for prescription drugs. It would be a separate drug plan that you would either be enrolled in or that you would choose to enroll in through the Medicare Part D program. Then the next program is the SLMB program, sometimes called SLMB, and it stands for Selected Low-Income Medicare Beneficiary. And the income limit for that for one person is $1,188 per month, and for two people, a couple, it is $1,602 a month. Same asset limit as the QMB program. And the SLMB program, or SLMB, only pays for the Medicare Part B premium. There's no help with the cost sharing with Medicare, so if you go to the doctor, you still pay your 20% with Medicare. There's no cost sharing. Your provider is not sending the extra bill to the state of Wisconsin. It is called SLMB, and the next program I'm going to be talking about are considered partial Medicaid programs, as is QMB. SLMB and SLMB Plus just pay for that Medicare Part B premium. The next program that I just mentioned is SLMB Plus, SLMB Plus, and the income limit for that is $1,306 per month and 50 cents for an individual, $1,802.25 for a couple. And the SLMB Plus program, again, only pays for the Medicare Part B premium. So the state of Wisconsin pays it. You see that extra amount in your Social Security check per month that you were otherwise paying. A unique part of the SLMB Plus program is that you can't combine it with any other kind of Medicaid. So and there's another great program called MAP, and you can't combine MAP and SLMB Plus together. So if you're eligible for SLMB Plus, you're also likely eligible for MAP if you can meet the work requirement if you have a disability determination. Now, if you're just on Social Security because you are retirement or full retirement age and you get Medicare because of that, that does not count as a disability. It's an actual determination either from Social Security Administration or from the Disability Determination Bureau. But if you do feel you're disabled, it might be something to look into applying for because MAP is full benefit Medicaid, but it doesn't pay for that Medicare Part B premium. Essentially, you just can't have the two together. But you could have MAP and QMB together or MAP and SLMB together, just not SLMB Plus. And then finally, there's a program called QI, and that is for individuals who are qualify for the SLMB Plus level of Medicaid, so the same income limits, $1,336.50 for an individual, $1,802.25 for a couple, and QI pays for the Medicare Part A premium that some people would otherwise have to pay because they don't have enough credits with Social Security to qualify for Medicare. So that one is pretty rare. The bigger programs are QMB, SLMB, and SLMB Plus. Thank you.